Mic check. It's just us
Mike,
two.
I guess it's just us. Hey, 2-man weave on this one, man. So hey, it is what it is, man. What's good, everybody? Welcome back. Yes, as you can see, my tagline, it lives. Yes, let's be real, it's still alive and still kicking. Life just been lifing for a lot of us right now, so that's why we ain't been on. But I'm your new and improved esteemed host now. Simply Trevor, man. Of course, kicking it with my fellow brother, Lito. What's good, man? Talk to the people.
Man, I'm just gonna ride in the passenger seat, big dog. I don't know what I can do in the passenger seat. Folks that drive, you know what I'm saying? They got specific rules for those that can sit in the passenger seat. So I don't know if I can touch the radio. I don't know if I can tell
You
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 which way
you
to
in charge of
go.
the ox, bro. You know
Gotcha.
the
Okay.
rules.
Hey, that's my line. Hey, I just
If
want
I'm
to be a
driving,
part of
I'm
it.
focused on driving. The passenger is usually in charge of the ox cord, and you better
Yeah.
have some shit that's lit to get the
First
car
of
right.
all, I dare not miss. If anybody passes me the ox, I dare not miss, man. But it's good to see. It's good to see you, Mr. Trail. It's good to
Man, it's
see
good to
those
be back,
that's
man.
joining
Good to
with
be
us
back, man.
online.
Look, man. Without further ado, man, let's go ahead and just get this whole thing rocking, man.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Welcome to Let's Be Real Sports Podcast, presented by Let's Be Real Media. Watch us live on YouTube and Twitter, and follow us on TikTok and Instagram at LBR_media. Also, subscribe to us on any podcasting platform.
What's going on? BLJ here, the best hype man in the NBA. Man, I'm here with Let's Be Real. Tune in. Hello.
Let's be real.
Yo, what's good? What's good? Happy February, everybody. Happy Black History Month, everybody. What's good? Welcome to another rendition of Let's Be Real. This your guy, Simply Trevor. Again, the new and improved esteemed host now. We 2-man weaving it right now. Of course, we got my brother Scholar with me. Scholar, talk to the people. What's good?
Man, not much. We just talked in the pregame what all I can do in the passenger seat. Hopefully, I can have a little drink in the passenger seat too. I ain't gonna get pulled over for the DUI if we get pulled over. So I'm just gonna bring the vibes and I'm just gonna let you steer the ship. How about that?
Hey, you know how it goes, man. You know when you get pulled over, you got to finish your drink quick. So you know how it goes for those.
Bro, you know what I just thought about? Remember
What?
that time me and you we went somewhere for like a New Year's Day party. Or
We
New
was at
Year's Eve party.
Sonya's spot.
Man, and we got pulled
And
over.
we got pulled over.
I knew we were going to jail today.
When I tell you I sobered up so quick.
I don't know how you did it. If nothing else, I forever owe you that one. I don't know what made me think about that just now, but we got pulled over.
I ain't gonna lie, I lied my ass off. I ain't gonna even cap because I told him I had 2 beers, knowing I didn't had Crown,
we
and
were
the other stuff.
we were smacked, and we were in Collierville well past midnight. Boy, I don't know
Just
how we
trying to
didn't
go
to jail.
home, and we get pulled over by Collierville police, and I don't know what happened. I sobered up.
That's called God's grace, my brother. That's
Yep,
called God's
nothing
grace.
but. But also, man, shout out to our third guy in the fray, Tel Shakir, who's back in the city. Unfortunately, he couldn't be with us right now. Shout out to my Elliott brother, the Michael Scott to my Dwight Schrute. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. As we typically always do, man, we like to start this off with a little flowers. And I'll go ahead and kick it off since it is February and since Valentine's Day is coming up, man. A lot of my flowers going to go to a lot of the ladies out here, man. So I'll start off because I know Skylar may have one of mine too. But I'll start off
what
with
I'm about to say. If you take what I'm about to say, I'm gonna pull this gen over myself. Go ahead.
So first and foremost, flowers goes out to Candace Parker, man, for putting in a bid with a couple others. I think Peyton Manning and a few others. I can't remember the exact ownership group. To actually get a WNBA team brought to Nashville. And they already have the name. It's going to be the Nashville Summit. Of course, Summit being named after legendary head coach Pat Summit. Hands down going to be the best team name in all the WNBA, no cap. So big shout out to Candace Parker for that, and big shout out to that ownership group. I'm really hope that the WNBA can get that done.
Yeah, man. Like I know we've on this podcast talked about. I know we in this city have talked about wanting a WNBA team in Memphis, and if we can't get one in Memphis, I'll damn sure be willing to bite that bullet and take one in Nashville for sure. Because again, we've talked about the WNBA, we've talked about that league, we talked about Unravel, and that would kind of help segue into my flowers as well. But if we can get a team in Nashville, I definitely want to be able to pull up, once or twice, just to go support that league, go support that team, man. So I hopefully we get that bid. I think Detroit just put one in.
Yeah, Detroit put one in. Congo's put one in.
Forget all them, man. Let's put one in Nashville. We could use another team more so in the South, right? Like,
100%.
We have all these teams, and grateful for them, and it's good to see the league growing. But let's get a team in the South, bro. Like I definitely, because in the South we love us some SEC football, and we love us some basketball. So let's keep the ball rolling and get us some basketball here.
Hey, SEC doing it big at basketball right now, both on the men's and the women's side.
Yes, sir. I just put that parlay in for the day, so let's win some money.
That's what's up.
But no, man. Shout out.
I got another flower. Speaking of SEC, basketball on the women's side. Let me see if I can, because I want to make sure I get this right for sure. Let's see. Oh yeah, big shout out to Michaela Blakes, man, for her of Vanderbilt.
Hey yo, she can hoop.
Hey, she gave dropped 53 on Florida, man. Just if you haven't seen her play, man, I highly advise y'all to go check her out in action. I know she, I believe she in the game against Tennessee, she was the one to hit the game winner, if I'm not mistaken, in a heavily contested game there. You already know what you're getting with women's SEC basketball, especially with South Carolina and what Dawn Staley is doing. But if you have some time and you want to check out some women's basketball, man, Michaela Blakes is definitely that one, 100%. So flowers go out to her.
Yeah, and I let me not act like I know all of the ladies that's hooping right now, but there's a lot of stars. There's a lot of talent in women's college basketball. I think last year it was kind of headlined by crap. Everybody just slipped my mind, but it was top heavy last year, and so this year, from what I've kind of noticed and what I've seen, it's a lot more talent kind of spread out, whether it's in the SEC, whether it's in the Big Ten. Juju Watkins is still out there in the Pac-10 or Pac-12, whichever one it is. It's a lot of talent throughout the country, right? So definitely tune in, tap in. I know men's college basketball is on one with the SEC on their side and the Big Ten, but check out the ladies as well, for sure. And really, my flowers would go to, speaking of the ladies and speaking of basketball, is this Unravel League. We talked about this a few months ago with Candy and things like that. But this league is really, really fun to watch. It's easy to watch. It's not long and drawn out like men's college basketball, and to be honest with you, like men's or like the NBA as well. But I think their league is I think they're playing games like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday as well. The first and fourth quarters are commercial free. There's a target score in the fourth quarter. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 6 different teams, and they're all headlined by a lot of the stars that you see now in the WNBA. So yeah, if you have not checked out that league, man, definitely do that. Shout out to Nafisa Collier and Brianna Stewart for getting that league off and running. And from everything that I've heard and seen, it's really it. They have really good sponsorships with all different types of companies throughout the league. They're on TNT every last one of these games. And again, it's easy to watch. It's fun to watch. They're competitive. It's 3-on-3 basketball. It's full court. So you gotta keep your head on the swivel in this league. So I definitely want to just shout out those ladies in that league for being off to a good start, and for some of the good quality basketball that we've seen over the past few weeks.
Man, yeah, let's give it up on our rival. Do it right now.
Dang, you ain't know that was coming. I'm sitting there like, damn, am I high? But
not yet. All right, man. Well, hey, perfect segue, man. Since we was talking about the ladies, we're gonna go ahead and just kick it off, man, with WNBA free agency, which a lot of the moves that have been made in this offseason has just been just here, from the Dream making moves to the Sparks making the big trade, of course, acquiring Kelsey Plum.
Mercury.
The Mercury, yes. Oh, the Mercury is slick. Hey, Mercury slick making some quiet moves. But Scott, if you want to go ahead and kick us off and touch on a couple that kind of caught your eye.
Yeah, so WNBA free agency just started within the past few days or something like that. Maybe more so within. Well, I think everything can start to become official as of yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. I think yesterday at 3. So you've seen some trades, you've seen some free agent moves. So I just kind of highlight what the top moves that we've seen so thus far. Kelsey Plum, formerly known of the Las Vegas Aces, was traded to the LA Sparks. That's gonna be solid. She gets to play with Rickea Jackson, who I'm a big fan of. Of course, Trevor, you know her from Tennessee. Cameron Brink and Stevens as well. So Kelsey Plum is going to the Sparks. Jewel Lloyd was a part of that trade. She's going to the Las Vegas Aces, formerly of the Seattle Storm. Interested to see how that's going to shape for him. Alyssa Thomas, OG in the league, but I low-key call her the bully of the WNBA for sure. Yeah, she's going to the Phoenix Mercury, so I'm interested in that. BG, Brittany Griner, formerly of the Phoenix Mercury, she's not going to the Atlanta Dream. She's going to be playing with Ryan Howard and Alicia Gray, who I've become a real big fan of.
I am too. Yes,
sis can hoop. I found out. I to be honest with you, I didn't know much about Alicia Gray until the All-Star game last year when she won the skills competition and the three-point competition in the same day or in the same weekend or whatever the case may be. Yeah. She can hoop, bro. Like I got on the Dream very, very towards the end of the last season. She can hoop. So I'm interested to see how Ryan Howard who also is a hooper, is a bucket in the WNBA and for the Atlanta Dream. So, seeing them three together definitely is going to be able to make some noise.
We might have to take a trip to the ATL for that one.
I already said I got to make at least.
I ain't gonna lie. I will definitely buy a ticket to a Dream.
I got to make at least two WNBA games. I don't care where they are. Of course, Dallas and Atlanta ain't nowhere from Memphis.
Hey, LBR is coming. We big supporters of the WNBA. But for me, man, I'm gonna go. Satu Sabali getting traded from the Wings to
Satu Sabali.
Yeah, to the Phoenix Mercury, man.
Yeah.
Like we just said previously, the Mercury is making some serious moves to get back in contention.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Sharky, I'm with it. Let's get it. We with it.
Hey, Sharky says, can we go on your dime? You know what I'm saying?
I know, right? Yeah.
Can we go on your dime?
That's big money, working with the Grizz and everything, getting to talk to our stars and everything, bro.
Yeah, that Atlanta Dream duo is gonna be nasty. I'm interested in that one for sure. It's gonna be good.
This is about going to the Mercury. Like I said, the Mercury has been making some moves that's on the quiet. I think they're probably gonna be one of the most slept on teams out west because you already know what you're getting with the Aces. You just saw we just talked about the big move for Kelsey Plum with the Sparks. With her, Rickea Jackson, Cameron Brink is gonna be coming back from injury. So WNBA is shaping up to be real nice, man. And I'm for one and am excited. I'm ready to see what's going to happen going forward. I'm happy we did get Jewel Lloyd. Gives the Aces another scoring option so that the way Asia doesn't have to practically do everything. My only concern is it does put a lot on Chelsea Gray. And as you know, Chelsea Gray was not healthy last season.
Mm-hmm.
But when she is healthy, we know how great Chelsea Gray can be. So the Aces is still going to be formidable, but I'm excited, man. I can't wait. And, man, anywho, we're going to shift things.
I'm going to say one more quick thing, too, man. Mark your calendars basically a year from now, because what you saw is, I'm pretty sure for those that are free agents and mostly players that are currently under contract, their contract will be up next year. The reason that's noteworthy is because the WNBA will be starting a new collective bargain agreement starting next year. So new TV money, new league money will start next year. So look forward to a lot of these people that just signed or were just recently traded to potentially trade or be traded again or move to a totally different team next year, because there's a whole new pocket full of money that's coming. That's
coming in
pocket. So I'm if you thought this year was crazy, mark your calendars for this time next year, where it's going to be even more wild. So I'm so happy.
Need I say this gonna rob this could rival the 2016 NBA free agency when everybody's contracts was up and then the new money started creeping up. So you know what, you got a point there. You might be on to something.
Yeah.
So yeah, market calendars for free agency next year. If you thought this was some serious moving, it's really about to be some furniture moving next season, especially with the money.
Some furniture moving. 50 on that one.
All right, well, we're gonna keep things going, man. Staying with the hoops, we're gonna shift things to the fella side, to the Tigers, and I usually kick it over to Skylar, because I know he's been following the Tigers closely. And me personally, I like that things have been quiet and the Tigers have been playing exceptionally well. Usually, when stuff like that happens, for the Tigers, it bodes well. But Skylar, man, what Penny and company got going on, man? Talk to us.
They're quiet. you literally you said exactly what needed to be said. They're quiet. Now, granted, again, so I think the Memphis Tigers are currently. Give me 1 second.
Their overall record right now is 17-4.
There you go. That's what I was looking for. Their overall record is 17-4. I think they're maybe 6-1 or 7-1 in the AAC. So they're at this point, since the calendar has flipped to 2025, they aren't playing anybody that's work nosy. That's like, yo, we gotta get up for this game. That's not happening. But what you're seeing now versus what you've seen in the past 3 to 4 years is consistency, at least in the winning department. Right now, granted, Memphis Tigers still has a turnover problem, and at this point, I've just tossed it up that they will forever have a turnover problem. But they're winning, right? And if you think about it, I think they're like 5-2 in quad 1 or quad 2, something like that. So they still have one of the better schedules throughout the country, not even just like over a group of teams, but they have one of the better schedules in non-conference play in the country. They're winning their conference right now, which at the end of the day, this is all I care about. I put in the group the other day, we as Memphis Tigers fans, both football and basketball, cannot complain about the lack of talent or the lack of competitive teams in the league, and we ain't winning the league itself, right? So hopefully this is one of those years that not only we can win the regular season, but we can also win the AAC tournament as well. And right now the Tigers are projected to do just that, right? So right now I think they have a game tomorrow against Rice, who they have a game on the 9th against Temple. They play Wichita State in there. They play South Florida, and I think they end of course the regular season was playing against Florida Atlantic, who they beat by like 30 about a couple weeks ago, right? So
that was on the road too. So I expect.
So the hope is that they just keep foot to gas, keep to be honest with you, for lack of better terms, belt to ass across BTA, across this league. Just win regular season, win the postseason. Again, as we talked about in the group me, depending on what your level of expectation. Depending on what your expectation of was a successful season for the Tigers. For me, it's, win the regular season, win the AAC tournament, get a win, maybe 2 in the NCAA tournament. I'm fine with that. Anything more than just a win or 2 in the NCAA tournament is a win for me. I would definitely take that. But if nothing else, kudos to that entire team. Kudos to their coaching staff. That team, whether it's PJ Haggerty, who's listed as an All-American, Tyrese Hunter, Kobe Rogers, Dane Danger, who, Lord Jesus, we talking about block work. Hey, he got some feet on him.
Yes.
Dane Danger, Musa Cisse still ain't got no hands, but he's giving you some minutes here and there. But one name to me that's worthy of noting is PJ. Oh crap, his last name just slipped my mind. PJ, or is it? Oh, sorry. What's his name? The guy that's coming off the bench. Sorry, let me pull it.
For the Tigers?
Yes, for the Tigers. It is PJ Carter. PJ Carter is really coming into his own, right? Like he's rebounding well, he's defending well. But again, he's shot making. He's another person that can make a corner 3 or put the ball on the floor and be able to either make plays for himself or make plays for others. And so when you have 3 or 4 guards that, if nothing else, 2 of them are going to give you a good game. It's just a matter of, it's PJ Haggerty and who that's going to give you that a really good 15, 20-point game. you'll take that in college basketball because it's guard heavy, and if you can win at the guard level in college basketball, you can win a lot of games. So I'm hoping that continues. Hopefully, health continues, good coaching continues, and we're just gonna see how the next 2 months play out. And I keep saying this: if the Tigers make a run in the NCAA tournament, I don't care where the Sweet 16 is, I'll pull up.
You pulling up?
I will make that happen. I will make that happen.
You will make that happen. Okay. All right, we're gonna hold. I honestly and truthfully, man, I don't have much else to add. Because pretty much everything you mentioned about the Tigers is the same sentiments I had. My biggest thing is that everything is quiet, and they're just going out there and hooping, and it's showing in their record, it's showing where they are in the rankings as well. I really don't have much else to say. For me though, the only thing I did have to do for me though, a successful season for the Tigers would be if they just got to the tournament and just got to win. If they get to the Sweet 16, if you can, if bare minimum, get to the field of I think it's 32, I believe. Just win one game in the tournament.
Yeah.
So obviously winning the regular season AAC tournament may, if you don't do that, I know it's not the end of the world, but I do think if that were to happen, Memphis is still very capable of winning the AAC tournament and just getting the at-large bid and just riding that momentum into the tournament. So kudos to Penny, kudos to the Tigers, kudos to their coaching staff, kudos to all the players, man. Big shout out to y'all, and we'll see what happens in the next couple of months. So we're going to shift things from the basketball court to the football field real quick. But before then, we're going to holler at our folks at SeatGeek.
SeatGeek is the ticket app that takes the confusion out of buying tickets. When you use our code LBR Media, you will get $20 off your first SeatGeek order. SeatGeek scores each ticket selection 0 to 10 to let you know if you're getting a good deal or a bad deal. Click the link in the description to download the app, and remember our code LBR Media for $20 off your first order. SeatGeek, your route to high quality ticket selection.
Skylar, I just realized something. God works in mysterious ways, man. We're gonna do our NFL season wrap up. Remember when we tried to tell these folks, I know it hurts, but we got to do it for the people because we got to remind them. Remember when we tried to tell these folks what was going to happen with the Pittsburgh Steelers? And everyone was trying to tell us just be grateful that we're in the situation that we're in, even though we already knew what the end result was going to be.
Sorry, I just had to whistle. I was in a really good mood, Trevor.
I'm sorry, but no, I'm sorry. Right. We got to do
it. No, you're right.
We told everyone, and let's be real, and everyone in the masses, like exactly what was going to happen with the Pittsburgh Steelers. But we won't hopper on the Steelers too much. But we're just gonna say we told you so. Like we knew exactly what was going to happen. When the losing streak started, we already knew what was up. But to get back to things on the positive side, just as a whole, man, what did you even think of the whole NFL season? Just another great season in the books, pretty much.
Yeah, I think it was another good season. I think overall, the quality of games were good. I liked. I think. What am I trying to say? It was a good season. I think you had. What I liked about last season or this season, and what I've liked in the past few weeks, is the level of intrigue that even when it comes down to the last week of the season, right? I think what Roger Goodell in the NFL, as much slag as he gets, Roger Goodell, in my opinion, does a good job of making sure things operationally are done well enough for the league, and he continues to grow that league. But one major thing that they've done over the past few years is adjusting the back half of the schedule, more so those last 3 to 4 weeks, to where it's nothing but divisional games. And I really, really like 100%. That because you're not going into week 16, week 17, week 18 with multiple teams sitting out multiple players, right? It's, we're having to play our players because, this game, call it the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions game, that Sunday night game where it was, the team that wins this game is either going to be a 1 seed or they're going to be a 5 seed, right? Like it's that level of intrigue that you get towards the back half of the season that I appreciate. So therefore, you don't have as many meaningless games towards the back half of the season. So I think overall it was a good season. I definitely liked the NFL partnering with Hard Knocks and HBO Max for that mid-season Hard Knocks series. I really like that. It gives you a different level of insight that you normally don't get to see as a fan. I really appreciate that. As somebody that's watched football for quite some time, and you the same as well.
Yeah.
So I liked it. I think overall the season was pretty good. I would have liked for it to end a whole lot better for my Steelers than it did, but at the end of the day, I'm a fan, and that's my job is to be a fan, and I'm gonna stay in my role. So there's that.
Yeah, I think it's more business as usual with the NFL, man. And as a one who was not typically on the whole football is king type of deal, who's since come around to that notion, I couldn't ask for a better season. I think to Skylar's point, having those divisional games towards the end of the season actually means something. Is actually great, and especially with the North. If it was the AFC or the NFC North, typically those last 3 to 4 games typically are going to determine who wins the division, is going to determine serious playoff seeding. We just referenced the Vikings and the Lions, who basically had to play on the last game of the season for the number 1 seed. So for me, overall, man, the season was great. Nothing short of amazing. Looking forward to us doing our NFL preview next season. We still on the verge to getting someone from all 32 teams. So we trying to make that happen. We've come close. We've come close each and every time. I think this past for this past season that just passed, I think we had, I want to say maybe 26, maybe. So I know we can get. I know there's somebody out there, and that's fans of people that's missing. So overall, man, we're excited, and I'm happy for the season. Wish it could have gone better for the Steelers, but hey, it is what it is. But the season's not all the way over just yet. Of course, we still got 1 game left to play. My guy here is going to be in the house. A couple of the Let's Be Real folks is going to be in New Orleans for it. They won't be at the actual game because they're more financially responsible than a lot of us. We ain't spending a car payment, a car down payment on the ticket. But
yeah, I ain't hit the lotto yet. It's a part,
exactly. I'm pretty sure you'll know if we hit the lotto.
It's a part of my daily prayer. People laugh at me, but I'm so serious. You don't get what you don't ask for.
You don't get what you don't ask for.
Part of my daily prayer to hit the lottery.
All right, so we still got the Super Bowl to play this next week. The Chiefs, of course, who are, I believe this is they're going for their 3rd straight, but I believe this is their 4th in 5 years, if I'm not mistaken.
4th and 5, 4th and 6.
Who's counting?
Rick is counting, right?
Yes, of course. We got the Kansas City Chiefs matching up against our beloved Savages, Philadelphia Eagles. Round 2, which hence the name of this episode, running back. I believe the Chiefs opened up as the favorite. I want to say a touchdown favorite, which I felt was kind of
that's high. That's more than what I saw.
Kind of high for me, but I think
I saw they open up as -1.5. I think it's gotten up to -3, -3.
I think when it first came out, it was like a touchdown, but I think it may have gone down.
Damn, I missed that. I would have taken that.
Yeah, I was like, that's definitely, when I saw that was definitely a lot. And I had to wonder, like, why was that so high for the Chiefs? And I get it, it's because of Patrick Mahomes, but at the same time, I mean, and Skylar, you've talked about this before, man, with the Kansas City Chiefs. For some reason, they just find a way. Like, even on their worst day, they just always find a way to get the job done. Like, this hasn't been the prettiest season for the Kansas City Chiefs, but yet they still were able to go 15-2.
-1.5 is the spread now, by the way.
1.5 is the spread. Okay, that is much better.
7 would have been crazy. Somebody
was crazy. Yeah, they ain't put enough respect on the Eagles on that.
Yeah, that's tough.
I'm gonna be honest with you. But since you'll be in the house, not necessarily at the Superdome,
I'll be amongst the vibes. Amongst the vibes.
Man, give us your preview, man, of the Super Bowl. Who you got winning? And I guess for Tuke's sake, we'll talk about Kendrick Lamar and what he's expected to do performance wise.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Super Bowl. I'm going to be. I will openly admit and say that I'm a part of the minority that actually wants to see history. So go ahead and spill the beans. I'm actually going for the Kansas City Chiefs because this is something that we either rarely see in sports and or we have not seen in the National Football League ever. If nothing else, the NFL is a league that is built and pride itself on parity, right? Like they make sure that we don't see the constant, the three-peats, the repeat champions. We just don't see that in football outside of a couple of times throughout the decades or whatever. But I guess this is just the Kansas City Chiefs decade where they just take over, whether it was the Cowboys in the 90s or the Dolphins in like the 70s or the Steelers and the 49ers and Packers and things like that. I guess this is their time. This is their moment to shine or whatever. And so you have them going against the Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl repeat of 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, a really good Super Bowl, if I remember correctly, where Jalen Hurts actually outperformed Patrick Mahomes. Like that offense was clicking. And if Philly,
if they wasn't for that one fumble, we're talking about the Eagles as Super Bowl champions.
Yeah. But as Sharky says, he's not here. What is better than what is, right? So I think I'll go with the Kansas City Chiefs, if nothing else, because a commandment on this podcast is you don't bet against Pat Mahomes. And Pat Mahomes is
equipped. So we've officially reinstated the commandment.
I'm not sure who rescinded it.
We rescinded it after he lost the Super Bowl to Brady.
He only lost that Super Bowl because he was missing both of his offensive tackles.
Yeah, he was running for his life. He was running for his life the entire.
The only reason he lost, and I do believe that's it. The score may not have been close, but I promise you that is the only reason he lost that Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, 100%.
That's the commitment to not bet against Pat Mahomes. And when Pat Mahomes has Andy Reid, he still has Travis Kelce, he still has Chris Jones, he still has Steve Spagnuolo, who is one of the best, if not the best, defensive coordinator that we have not seen in the past. I don't know how long, but in my opinion, so as long as he has that group of individuals with him, which he still does, then I'm just not betting against him. However, Philadelphia Eagles, Lord Jesus Christ, that is one team that, like, I will always say, if I left the fandom of the Steelers, it would be, I would want to be a fan of the Philadelphia Eagles because they built their team how I would build my team, which is in the trenches. If nothing else, the Philadelphia Eagles are going to have a good defensive line and a good offensive line, which is why their team is so good, right? They have the best offensive line in the league. Just ask Saquon Barkley, who, Lord Jesus, all they did was insert him, and he had a record-breaking year. Ask the Commanders, all he needed is one play, and he going to break it off for 60, 70 yards. So that's crazy to see. But they still have a really, really good offensive line. They block well. They run block well. They're bullies up front. They have Mekhi Becton, who was terrible for the Jets. Terrible for the Jets. Yeah. And he's like, I swear he's like an all-pro or
sometimes it's coaching in the situation, man.
But they switched his position from attacker to a guard, so he's playing well. I talked about Saquon Barkley. They still had the likes of Devontae Smith, AJ Brown. So again, if the Chiefs ever want to get into like, all right, we're gonna sell out on the run, good luck on the outside being able to defend Devontae Smith, AJ Brown, and I still didn't even mention Zach Ertz. I mean, not Zach Ertz. Dallas Goedert. Who can still, can get open and do what he can in the pass offense. And I still haven't mentioned their defense. Their defense is really, really good. I swear to God, they took like half of Georgia's defense from like 3 or 4 years ago and just put them on
the Philadelphia Bulldogs.
So the Philadelphia Eagles, in my opinion, they actually probably have the better roster between the Eagles and the Chiefs. And I'll say this to end, and I'll pass it over to you. Sometimes it's not better. It's not a matter of who has the better team. It's at the end of the day, sometimes who just has the better player. And I think at the end of the day, Patrick Mahomes is the better player. Andy Reid is the better coach. And I think the Chiefs will find somehow, some way to win this football game. So I'm hoping it's a high scoring one. But I think their defenses are really good. So let me give them both a respect. So let me go Kansas City 32, Philadelphia Eagles 28.
Okay. That's nice. What up? What up, Savage? What's good? Oh man, and I think your sentiments of the Eagles are kind of similar to mine as well, because when the Eagles realize they have a problem somewhere, they actually go out and do what they can to address that problem, which is what most franchises should be doing anyway. But that's not something that's not always followed. So I do commend the Eagles for at least finding out what their needs are, addressing their needs, and just putting it all together, man. For me, I'm gonna roll with the commandment as well of not picking against Patrick Mahomes, because I think these two teams are evenly matched. I think Philadelphia has the better roster, 100%. But something is telling me that when it comes down to it, can Jalen Hurts go out and actually win it? I think when all else fails, my only question mark is if it's the last 2 minutes and Jalen Hurts has to win you the game. Can he actually do that? And there, I trust Patrick Mahomes a little bit more in that situation than I do with Jalen Hurts. And that is the only reason I'm picking Kansas City to take this one. I know with both of us picking Kansas City, if things serve right, Philly might just come out and just do what they do, which, hey, I wouldn't be surprised at that either. But I'm going Kansas City. I think this game will be in the 30s as well. So give me Kansas City 38, Philadelphia 35.
Damn, that's a lot.
I think it's gonna be in the high 30s.
Yeah, it's nothing wrong with that, right? Because I think as much respect as we both just gave the defenses, we also didn't. We probably could have even given a little bit more respect to. I can't read that because I'm talking.
I'll keep it up to after.
Yeah, but the offenses are just as good, right? Because again, I talked earlier about Saquon Barkley in that offensive line for the Eagles, and if they were able to do that against the Commanders, if they were able to do it against who else did they play? They played whoever else they played. Like I what am I trying to say is Kansas City also struggled in the run game against the Buffalo Bills as well. So if James Cook can do that against the Chiefs, then imagine what Saquon Barkley can do against the Chiefs as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what that game plan is for the Chiefs. If I'm the Chiefs, I try to play keep away. I try to do on some, we're gonna dink and dunk our way down the field. We're gonna take 3, 4, 5 yard gains just to let that clock tick away. So therefore, we don't have to see Jalen Hurts in that offense as well. But again, it's a matter of like how which defense is going to show up the most. I think it's key in this game. So at the end of the day, I just trust Pat Mahomes a little bit more than Jalen Hurts, only because I've seen Patrick Mahomes do it more. And that's not saying that Jalen Hurts can't do it, because we just saw him do it 2 years ago. But you just seen Pat Mahomes do it week in, week out, regardless of the time of the year of the season. He's going to do it. And if no other time he does it in the postseason and he does it in the playoffs. That's why I'm giving it to Pat Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs.
All right. Well, we'll just kind of
yeah, that's true.
That is true. He did play well enough last time. I just think that if that situation arises, I don't trust him just between him and Pat Mahomes. But stranger things have happened.
Yeah, 30. Yeah, I agree with you. I think 30 is high, but it's a Super Bowl. Because what was the score of the last Super Bowl?
Yeah.
What was the score of that last Super Bowl? I don't remember, but it was up there. I don't remember what it was.
I got it. I'll look it up.
And granted, again, the teams have changed. I'm not trying to compare this team, either one of the teams, to 2 years ago, but it was
38-35 last season. Last
yeah, teams just naturally just score more on a stage like this, where there's no weather that you really necessarily have to worry about. You have to think about. So, it could be. I'm also where I say, one team will score 30, but the other team will score high 20s. It's me saying that I recognize the offenses, but I'm also trying to give recognition to the defense as well. So that's all that it is.
Yeah, I got you. All right. This all right, real quick before we move on, because I do want to talk.
Tell Savage since he in the comments to give us a score.
Yeah, Savage, what's your score for?
You want to talk?
We know you got the Eagles. What's your score?
He'll give us a score in a minute. I'm pretty sure he will.
And while he's doing it, we'll talk about the halftime performance with Kendrick briefly. I'm just gonna come out and ask: does he come out the gate with "Not Like Us," or does he save it for the last song?
No, I don't think he's gonna come out with. I don't think he's gonna start that heavy, that crazy. I think he'll pull something off his recent album GNX, which shout out to the album, still gets bumped to this day. I think he'll probably pull something out of there to start, or maybe an older classic of his. And I think he'll start off with that. He'll probably follow that up with something else. But trust and believe, Drake is getting trolled at some point for sure.
Oh, 100%.
Throughout this performance. So I just want him to bring the vibes. I know he will. It'll be New Orleans. New Orleans is gonna bop. It's gonna vibe. I hope also in some form of fashion he
gonna bring out Wayne, bro.
Yeah, I
know he's gonna do it. I know he's gonna bring out Lil Wayne.
For my sake, for my age group of people, just give Lil Wayne his 5 minutes of fame. That's all I ask for. After that, Kendrick, turn the stage up, do whatever you want to do, but do that. Troll Drake. And bring SZA fine ass on out of there, and then then we're gone, and then that's it.
He does with all the cussing removed, basically. That's it. But Savage did have his score. 30-27 Eagles.
Fair.
Saquon MVP definitely fair. Is that total yards or that's strictly on the ground?
It could happen. I mean,
I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm just asking for clarification.
Yeah. When I put this parlay in, I'm going for Saquon plus 110 at least. At least 110.
Savage on the ground. Okay, I can see it. I got 100% see it. Shark asks, how many songs will he and SZA perform together?
2. I give him 2.
2.
I give him 2.
They'll do the joint off GNX. They'll do Luther, and then they'll do the joint.
Please do Luther. Oh God, please do Luther.
Yeah, they're doing Luther, and then they probably gonna do the Black Panther joint from the first Black Panther movie that they got.
Mm-hmm.
So
there you go.
Yeah. All right, man. We ain't talked much NBA on this show. Shout out to our folks at 3 the Hard Way for kind of keeping us abreast with that. But we'll talk briefly on the All-Star game real quick. Let's see. That will be the ultimate troll.
You talking about being blindsided.
Boy. Oh yeah, 30 for 30 is bumping too.
Bumping for sure. Good one, Sharky. Let's start there.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good start. All right, so we'll talk the NBA All-Star game. Let me see if I can pull up the full list of everyone that actually made the team.
Why you do that? Can I give a player a shout out, bro?
Go right ahead, man. Go right ahead.
Bro, Jokic.
Nikola Jokic.
Nikola Jokic, bro. I swear between him and SGA, I don't know which one tries the least to be as good as they both are. They both are really, really good. And I've seen both of them play a lot over the span of, over the course of the last 3 or 4 years. But just watching them this year is just like they both. I swear, I don't know how many times I can see. I've watched them play a lot, and a lot of times I just feel like Jokic just low key just don't even be trying. He walks out there with his warm up suit and can get a triple double. SGA, I don't know if I've seen him break a sweat ever, and just gives you 30. You talk about the easiest prop bet. The easiest NBA prop bet is SGA plus 28.5 every time. It never misses. It never misses.
I could tell it to 25 just in case, but yeah,
to play it safe.
It's a player safe 25. Yeah,
that's 28. That's 28. Give you a couple extra.
If it's over under 25 points for SGA, just bet the over.
Yeah, just bet the over. Maybe that's a new commandment.
Guaranteed to get 30.
Maybe that's a new commandment. We might need to make that.
Hey, that's true. That's true.
All
right, so we got the all-stars and reserves for both sides. Obviously, of course, the starters came out. Giannis, Donovan Mitchell, Karl Anthony Towns, Jalen Brunson, and Jason Tatum. Jaylen Brown, Pascal Siakam, Darius Garland, Cade, Dame, Evan Mobley, and Tyler Hero round out the East.
Tyler who?
You said what?
Tyler who?
Tyler Hero. Yes, Tyler Hero made Hold on, let me finish because we're going to get to that in a second.
That's funny.
All right, for the West, the starters, you got Steph, KD, Bron,
SGA,
and Jokic.
Steph. Brian seen Steph.
We'll get to it. All right, for the reserves, we got Anthony Davis, James Harden, Jaren Jackson Jr., Jalen Williams, Wemby, and my guy, Alfred Şengün, a.k.a. I'll be sure as Savage calls him. So, all right, we got some people that shouldn't be there to your reaction. So we'll go ahead and I guess we'll start with the one that Scott was most shocked about, and this Tyler Hero. I know he was having a career season, but go ahead.
That's cool. No, I mean it's cool. Shout out to him. Let me not be disrespectful because he can clearly do something that I can't. Shout out to him for making the All-Star team. But that ain't one that I would have done. He cool. Tyler Hero. I don't even think a Miami Heat fan would have voted for Tyler Hero. Actually, that's probably all his votes for it. But no, I probably would have put Melo in. I probably would have put Melo from the Hornets. I would have that's just me personally.
I was one of one.
Him a trade. I think would have been the better pick for me.
Yeah.
But shout out to Tyler Hero for being All-Star.
Yeah, I will say this. I was one of the ones that was on the LaMelo shouldn't have been an all-star type of thing, just for the simple fact that Charlotte wasn't winning. But I was not expecting Tyler Hero. I honestly would have thought Trey would have gotten the nod, to be honest with you. I would have went Trey more before I went with LaMelo, but
yeah.
Hey, kudos to him for that. Kudos to Tyler Hero for that. Y'all already know why Steph. We'll get to Steph Curry in a minute, but I gotta do this one time for the one time because Detroit basketball. Shout out to my guy, Cade Cunningham, man. I tried to tell y'all about this guy when he came out in the draft. I tried to tell y'all this man was gonna be the one to get Detroit back on the map. They are right now. They're sitting sixth right now in the East. Ironically enough, at 24-24, which is the same record as the Golden State Warriors, who are sitting 11th in the West right now. But shout out to Cade Cunningham getting the nod for the All-Star. I said he should have been there because I have been seeing what's been going on in Detroit. But yeah, we'll so my brief shout out to Cade for that. That's why I'm repping Detroit for this one on today. Yeah, but yeah, Steph Curry, All-Star game.
Yeah, I just want to say this real quick about Cade.
Right.
Every year, I find a different player to watch in the NBA. Every year. It's about 4 or 5 players that, like, regardless of matchup, regardless of day of the week that they're playing, I'm going to make sure that I, in some form or fashion, keep up with those 4 or 5. But then I always tell myself, like, okay, this year, find a new player to watch that you normally don't watch. Last year, it was Paulo. I was very late to the game on Paulo. I'm going to keep it a buck. I was late on Paulo. Paulo can hoop. Paulo is going to be a problem. If not, he's already a problem now.
Ironically enough, I watched his very first game, his rookie season against the Pistons, and he was giving them buckets. And I was like, yep.
Yeah.
Paulo's going to be something serious.
So this year, it was K. Again, listening to Three the Hardaway. Again, just trying to follow the same trend of what young star can I follow this year that I'm like, yo, like that dude balling. This year is Cade. Cade balling because he is really that guy for real. And I'm happy for him. It's been some tough times in Detroit. I'm pretty sure we're all well aware of that. But for Detroit to be in the spot that they're in, I think you just mentioned they're 24 and 21 at this point of the season. I don't remember how long in the past 3 to 4 years it took them to get 24 wins total. So to have 24 wins right now,
it's been a minute. It's been a minute. I'm not sure if the past 2 years they combined for 24 wins, but at the end of the day, They did, which is messed up. But it's the truth. It's the truth.
But this year, the reason the Detroit Pistons are playing as well as they are, the reason they're starting to get a lot more talk outside of Let's Be Real, 3 the Hard Way, and you guys on this podcast is because of Cade Cunningham. So shouts to him for having the year that he's having. I hope he keep balling and keep doing what he can to turn around their franchise.
Well, no, real talk, we do gotta give some flowers to JB Bickerstaff for coming in and actually instilling the will in these guys that they can actually hoop. And then just for the front office for putting together a decent roster, they got is not as well as you would say the Houston Rockets, or maybe a few others. I'm drawing a blank on a couple others, but they do have a pretty decent mix of young guys and veterans on this team. And you see that it's actually starting to show. Like everybody in Detroit right now is hooping in some shape or form or fashion. Cade, of course, doing his thing. He got the All-Star nod. Jalen Duren is looking like a beast on the inside.
Easy double-double.
Easy double-double. Easy double-double. You know what you get with Isaiah Stewart. If he ain't doing nothing else, he ready to fight somebody.
I love it.
Malik Beasley is knocking down some threes, man. Asar Thompson, who has sprouted out, and of course,
him and his brother.
Him and his brother. Both of them are actually
his brother. Crazy.
Yeah, so shout out to Sharky for bringing that up too. And then, of course, I can't leave out Jaden Ivey, who was actually having a career year before his tragic injury, in which knocked him out for the season. So Detroit is going to be scary once they get healthy and they continue to build on what they have right now. But
I just hope my last thing on Detroit, because this is definitely supposed to be all-star talk, but who cares?
I mean, technically it is because we talk about the one all-star they got.
That's true. My thing is, and I know this is something we talked about in our group me as well. Shout out to the Let's Be Real group me. But one thing when we talked about in the group me as well that either I or somebody mentioned is if your Detroit continue to be aggressive, right? Like you cannot be okay with just being okay. Like understand that yes, I have a good team. Yes, I have my first all-star in quite some time. I have these young pieces and these veteran talents around me, but how can I continue to be aggressive? And this is for any team. This is for any franchise, whether it's basketball or football or baseball or soccer or hockey. It's understand where you are and how can you continue to be better in your franchise, whether that's making a unpopular decision, whether it's drafting the best player instead of a need. We talk the Philadelphia Eagles who do that all the time. Like I just hope that the Detroit Pistons will continue to be aggressive, continue to build around Cade Cunningham and that team, and I want well for their franchise, even though that's one of the franchises that I mentioned a few years ago that I don't have any sympathy for.
So Cade is the first Pistons All-Star since Blake Griffin.
I'm going to say, can I guess? Since who?
Since Blake Griffin. He's the first Pistons All-Star since Blake Griffin. He's the first Pistons guard to make an All-Star team since
Blake Griffin. What year was that?
That was 2019.
Blake Griffin balled that way. Wait, hold on. Excuse me.
Blake spent like pretty much 3 seasons in Detroit. So yeah, 2 full seasons. I
forgot about that. But what the heck did he 2019 to be an All-Star?
Let me see. I'm looking at Blake's numbers that year. So Blake year.
He was 18-8. Oh no. That's what's
he was 24 and I don't know, 25 a game. I think it was 25, 7 and
if you made me guess
25, 7 and 5.
I would have never guessed that. That would have been a good NBA trivia for you because I would have never guessed that. So that year, Blake Griffin, say that again?
25 a game, 25 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. And I'll just give you who was on. I think, this was the last. And then, if I'm not mistaken, it's the last time they made the playoffs. If I'm not mistaken,
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
man. I would have never guessed it.
It was some names on here. All right, so Here's who was on that Pistons team that year, and then we can move on. Bruce Brown, of course, who ended up getting the title with the Nuggets. Reggie Bullock, who Laker fans remember couldn't hit the side of the
I think it was terrible for the Lakers. He
Yeah.
was so terrible for the Lakers.
Jose Calderon was still on the roster. Obviously Andre Drummond, Blake Griffin, Reggie Jackson. Luke Kennard was on the roster.
Not surprised.
Luke Kennard was on the roster. John Lure was on the roster, and
John Lure
and Ish Smith, who's played for everybody. So
shout out to Ish Smith, bro.
Yeah, shout out to Ish Smith.
I would have never guessed that, and he did all that on 75. He played 75 games this year.
He did, yes.
That's wild.
That man.
Shout out to Blake Griffin.
Shout out to Blake indeed. All right, man. We'll go ahead and close this John out with a troll and all or more flowers or whatever. I do have a troll and all that involves what we just got through talking about. So if Skylar doesn't have anything, I'll go ahead and go to it.
Go forward.
All right. So of course, with the NBA, of course, we talk about the great draft classes that have come through, 1984, 2003, 2009, 96. So I was gonna come out and say it, troll or no, I think that the 2021 NBA draft class is the next great draft class. To be in the conversation.
For reference, go through those players for me if you don't.
All right, so for reference, here's some people in that draft class. Of course, we just got done talking about Cade Cunningham, Jalen Green, Scotty Barnes, Evan Mobley, Alfred Sengun, who's an all-star, Franz Wagner, who's doing this thing with the Magic, Jonathan Kuminga with the Warriors, Jalen Johnson, who's coming along with the Hawks, Herb Jones, who everyone was talking about as a 3-and-D guy for the Pelicans, and Santi is in this draft. And Grizz fans was talking about the big year that Santi was having. So just to name a few.
So then what's your trolling all again?
That I think that this 2021 draft class should at least be in the conversation. Maybe not top 5, but at least in the conversation.
Okay, because I'm sitting like so, I will say I'm going to go with a troll because I still feel like it's really, really early. Now, I hear you. The important part of what you just said is in the conversation of not saying that they're the best or they're right behind the 84 class, because Lord Jesus, I don't know if anybody can touch the 84.
Nobody's touching 84.
Nobody touching the 84.
I don't think nobody's touching 84 or 96.
84, 96, and or what's that?
2003.
Yeah, 2003. Yeah. So then I would say it's still a little too early. Let's have this conversation again in 2 years, maybe 3, just to kind of see, because all those players that you just mentioned are not only balling, but they got next in the league for sure. And when the likes of LeBron and Steph and KD, kind of transition into a different life, that those players will be able to grab reins of best player, or we in this generation got the NBA and we're going to be able to take it to a different level. I'm pretty sure they can do that, but let's just wait and see over the next year or two where they are in their careers, and how well they've transitioned their team from being we're in the lottery and we're consistently in the lottery to like we're in the playoffs consistently, making runs in the playoffs and or have won a championship or 2. Let's go there. That's the part that I want to see. And that's the thing that you've seen in the previous drafts that we just mentioned. There are multiple players in those draft classes that we mentioned that did that. So let's see if we can see them consistently do all 3 of those things that I just mentioned over the course of a period of time.
Okay. All right. And then Sharky just reminded me actually of the 2018 draft class, which is just as good and could also have, definitely would have a strong case, given who's all in there. I'll go troll just for your reason, but I just felt that with everyone that is balling right now that's in this 2021 class, I was just like, why not mention them as being, in at least in the conversation. Of course, no one's touching the aforementioned ones that we mentioned. Those are legendary, pretty much. I think 2018 is definitely in the chat already. That's why I didn't mention them before. Just given what everyone in that draft class is doing, but I just felt that 2021 deserved to get a little bit of love there, man. But all right, well, anything else? All hearts and minds clear?
Nope, that's it.
Good.
Man.
All right.
Appreciate you for letting me ride in the passenger seat.
You did well on the ox, bro. So
I did well on the ox until that one time you took the ox from me and you brought up the Steelers.
You're right.
If nothing else, you did a good job. You did a good job of.
I had to do it because we had to remind these people that we tried to be.
Ooh, we got quick breaking news. Quick breaking news.
What breaking news on LBR? Let's
go. Disney Carrington. We talked about the WNBA to start the show. Disney Carrington was just traded from the Phoenix and the Connecticut Sun to the Dallas Wings for their pick swapping. But Disney Carrington, who's really good with the ball, it ain't the best breaking news, but it's some breaking news.
It's some.
There you go. We'll take that. But no, this was a good show.
Yeah, that's what's up. We'll close the show on that note. Well, man, thank you guys for rocking with me and Lito on this 2-man weave. Of course, you can follow me on X at the Art of Trevor of the preposition, so you know what not to do with it. Lito, tell them what they can catch you at.
Bro, ain't nothing changed. I've been at _Scalito since 2009. So at this point, there's no reason why you can't. Literally no reason. I've changed nothing about my handle on Twitter. Yeah, exactly, Sharky. But no, man, this was good. This was fun. Appreciate the time. Appreciate you rocking with me. I'm looking forward to it, man. Enjoy y'all Saturday. UFC Saudi Arabia is up. College basketball is up today. The NBA is up today. If you ain't making no money today, that's on you.
Yeah, check it out. Of course, man, make sure you check out all the other podcasts as part of the Let's Be Real Media family. Of course, you got the Let's Be Real podcast. You got 3 the Harder Way. Shout out to those guys that's giving you hot fire every single week. The Jeans Report. Of course, shout out to The Real Deal with David Adams. The Jump Pass with Ryan. We out here moving, man. I'm doing my thing with Let's Be Real Gaming. I'm dropping 2K mixtapes every other week. I got a new one that's out right now, paying homage to Vince Carter, who just got both his jerseys retired in Brooklyn and Toronto. Of course, he's the newest enshrinee of the Hall of Fame, so go check that out. We out here moving, man. Of course, make sure you follow our guy, Tev Shakir, at Tev Shakir. When he gets back, he'll be back ready to rock it as well. So, till next time, y'all.
Be easy, because that's where I'm going to be, in the big easy. Sorry.